Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. We have a big update regarding the situation within Washington, D.C. A lot of meeting, big stuff. What's going on, guys? Yeah, Zelensky wore like a half suit. It wasn't like a full suit. It was kind of interesting. He wore an all black. It's almost like he doesn't want to wear a suit and they forced him to, so he just threw something on. That's what it looked like. I don't know. Apparently, they're getting along. You need to debloat. Debloat? What does that mean? Were you one of the European leaders in attendance? Yeah, I was. I came from Ireland. I was the representation from Ireland. Thoughts on the whole meeting and eye roll? I mean, I'll go through all the tweets and everything here in a minute. We'll just let you let people join. You got to let people join into the stream, and so then we'll cover all of it. But I mean, a lot of it's like, well, it's behind the scenes stuff. We'll see what they say. It's like we knew it was gonna be more cordial than the first time Zelensky was there. Why did the Germany leader look like shit? He was really pushing for a ceasefire, which Putin doesn't like. So it's funny, but left is mad at Lamar Jackson for retweeting a Charlie. Yeah, I saw that. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens quarterback, retweets Charlie Kirk saying, Jesus is the only answer or something. People get angry about it. It's crazy. It's a tweet about, Jesus and Christianity and praising God, and they get mad about it. They get mad at a retweet. See a video of Fuentes crashing out over someone recommending him a diet after he said he had stomach issues. Well, he does that. It seems like he does that a lot. They tell him to get on a diet. He doesn't want to do it. I'm eating healthier. Honestly, I am, but I really don't need to be on a diet. You were disappointed to see the hot girl with lesbian parents is no longer president of Finland. Hmm. Mertz was not happy. I think most of Europe is probably unhappy that there's going to be some type of peace deal with Russia getting land. They think it sets a bad precedent. They think it sets a bad precedent, but it was always going to be this way. They were always going to have to begrudgingly accept it. The United States, on the other hand, we can come out a lot more unscathed because we don't really care about Russia, especially them taking 13% of Ukraine or whatever it ends up being. Thoughts on Epstein stuff about Bill Barr? Well, I saw there was a report that Trump wasn't involved in any of the Epstein stuff that came out. Another person testified to the fact that Trump was not involved. But I mean, so much of the Epstein stuff lacks context. Like, if we were to actually have a conversation about the Epstein stuff, you have to understand, the history of Trump and Epstein, and then also even recently how, this was a conspiracy theory to liberals, and now suddenly they want it to come out. It's all total hypocrisy. But I'm not. We're not going to go through it again. Are you a Chipotle guy? Some when I want to eat healthier, I'll just have like a chicken bowl or something from Chipotle. That's when you eat really healthy. Going forward, would you like to see the U.S. strengthen ties with Western Europe, who is under full Islamic invasion, or Russia, who in 50 years will still probably be white majority? Well, I think they'll definitely be white majority Russia in 50 years. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, man, 100%. I'm just concerned because liberals hate Russia so much. What happens when a liberal president gets in? I mean, are we really going to be able to do any type of real diplomacy with Russia? Would they be willing to do any diplomacy with us when the one side of the aisle hates them and they know that when they get in? I mean, I'm not sure it's going to really solve much if we do some type of if we enter into some type of agreement with Russia, some type of alliance. My concern is when liberals get in, it could be disrupted. Yeah, Chipotle is. It just depends what you order, man. Chipotle is fine. I feel like people have this instinct, like anytime you order food, it's unhealthy. It's not true. That's not true. How was the Trump meeting? I heard it was pretty positive. I mean, it seems decent. It's behind. We're gonna hear a lot of. We're gonna have to get reports behind closed doors on what really happened because they do this for the press. And the first time we got the crazy fireworks with Zelensky, but you're not normally gonna get that. A lot of this happens behind closed doors. The negotiations. The Epstein files were never about Trump. The whole thing was bigger than just Trump won't release them because he's in them. Yeah, I mean, okay, we get it with the foreign governments and Israel. If you move away from your hometown, which city would you move to? I don't know, man. I'd have to do some research. Fox News saying that Trump wanted to phone Putin in the middle of the meeting to get a deal. Yeah, I saw that. Mean Gene with a $50 donation. Thank you. I appreciate that. The EU's leaders' love fest for Trump leadership was fantastic. The West will guarantee Ukraine's new borders. Neocons and Democrats furious with all the peace processing. LOL, Russia needs to be brought back into a group of reasonable nations. Thank you for the donation. Yeah. It does seem like this. It seems like this is trending in a very positive direction. It seems like there's a lot of begrudging Western European countries who realize this has to happen. But I mean, we're not really going to know for sure until there's actual talks with all three of them, Trump, Putin, and I mean, you could also include the European powers, but Trump, Putin, Zelensky, they needed to have a meeting. They said there might be a meeting later this week. So Lamar Jackson getting flack for retweeting Charlie Kirk. Yeah, he was. I saw. I don't even know how you get flack for retweeting that about Jesus. That's pretty crazy. I guess that's how guarded those people are. Those liberal people. Charlie Kirk's not even crazy like anti-Semitic or anything. He's very mild, I would say. But they get mad at pretty much anything. All right, well, let's see some of this. Okay, it looks like there's a meeting between Putin and Zelensky happening within the next 2 weeks. So that came out. Chipotle uses seed oils to cook their meat. Yeah, I don't know about all the seed oil shit. And I mean, come on, dude. It's fucking food. I mean, like, I don't know, man. You think Trump might propose Russia rejoining the G8? I don't think they would accept Russia. They're not going to accept Russia to rejoin it. I think didn't Trump already propose that? I think he did. Trump's already said that Russia should be back in the G. He said it should be a G8, not a G7. He said it. That was one of the reasons why the invasion happened. Charlie Kirk might be mild to conservatives, but he's definitely far right to liberals. Well, I think the point is anything is far right if you're an extreme person. You know, if you're an extreme liberal, people moderate liberals are too are right wing. That's just the reality. And you've got a lot of these younger people who are extremely far left, and there's also a lot of young people that are extremely far right, but they're all on the internet, and so they freak out. It's like a freaking quarterback who's not political retweeted a post about Christianity, and they get angry at a retweet about his religion. You like the Bengals? No, I'm not. I'm not a Bengals fan. I'm not. I'm not close to Cincinnati. Tell us what happened in the meeting. President, I need a debrief. I would need a debrief. You'd have to give me a debrief. If I'm the president, I should get a debrief on the meeting. I'd be able to explain it to everyone very coherently if I get a debrief. Now I gotta cipher through all these fucking tweets at my house instead. Giga with a $50 donation. This is a big night for me. I can feel it. This is a big night for me. Do you think that Trump's plan for Donetsk and Crimea to Russia will end the war? Well, isn't that territory? It's the Donbass. It's two of the oblasts, not just the Donetsk. And if so, when do you think Ukraine will have an election? Because I highly doubt that Zelensky will win the election after how long he's prolonged this war. Well, I have no clue if he'll win re-election. I know his approval rating had gone down to about 50%. Now, do they have someone that would... The question is this. Let's be honest about the situation in Ukraine. If they have an election that's fair and democratic, there's no way a pro-Russian leader is going to win. It's not going to happen. So Zelensky might not win, but it's not going to be a pro-Russian leader. I mean, how would a pro-Russian leader win after they just invaded their country? I know people are like, well, Zelensky's hated now in Ukraine. Seed oils contaminate your cell membranes composition. That does sound bad when you put it like that. I don't know, man. But it's like you'd think they would stop adding it to their food. I mean, if it's really that bad, what's the purpose? What's the purpose of adding it? Makes the food better? You would definitely pass 1K viewers on stream on Peace Steel Night. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But hopefully, maybe it happens during a stream. It'd be crazy if something like that happened, but I'm speaking more pro-Ukraine leader. Zelensky's more pro-EU NATO rather than Ukraine. Yeah, but I mean, I also think whoever the new leader is would also be more favorable to the West than Russia. But I guess they could go that route. I don't know how really unliked Zelensky is right now. I know there's opinion polls that have come out about the Ukrainians getting really angry that the war is continuing. About 70% want the war to end, even if it means losing territory, which is, you know, definitely not what Zelensky's been saying. He's been saying they need to take back all their land. Well, he says based on their constitution that they can't give up, they can't cede any land. It's about money. What, it's cheaper? All right, I'll go to some of the clips.
Let's work on that, and let's try to put pressure on Russia, because the credibility of these efforts we are undertaking today are depending on at least a ceasefire from the beginning of the serious negotiations from next step on. So I would like to emphasize this aspect and would like to see a ceasefire from the next meeting, which should be a trilateral meeting wherever it takes place.
Well, we're going to let the president go over.
Yeah, she did not like that. But this has been one of the big hangups. Putin does not want a ceasefire. He wants a peace deal. So there's not that. So I don't know what, it's just the Western European countries being difficult. I mean, obviously Putin wants it for a reason, but if Ukraine insists on security guarantees, it should be up to the Europeans to enforce it. Trump has told the Europeans we're focused on combating China's influence in our hemisphere. Yeah, but I mean, have you heard it? Maybe I heard it from somewhere that Trump might involve U.S. security. But I mean, that's because he's trying to get this over the finish line. But I do think that, yeah, that's a very common thought, that we really don't want to be involved with this.
The German chancellor has just told reporters that the president spoke with Vladimir Putin, agreed that the Putin-Zelensky meeting is going to happen within 2 weeks. So that's from Chancellor Merz. Listen, we've got more with the panel. Final thoughts about around the horn there at the White House earlier today. Just getting word that the Ukrainian president is not going to come here to special report tonight after this marathon meeting at the White House. They are flying out.
So Zelensky canceled an interview with Fox News. Well, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. The next meeting is the three of them, so maybe that'll be the peace deal.
The meeting lasted longer than anticipated. Leaders started arriving there at about 1 p.m. this afternoon. They are still at the White House, we're told, in the Oval Office. President Trump and Zelensky have been meeting in the Oval Office with others for about 20 minutes. We plan to have an exclusive interview with Ukrainian President Zelensky should that meeting end before 7 p.m. We're going to see if that happens. First up, senior White House, of course.
I mean, if you were Putin, would you want the situation to devolve into a similar ceasefire of the two Koreas? Because there's no ceasefire, there will be no end to the war. Well, I mean, the idea is it's a 30-day ceasefire. It creates, it then you're allowed to negotiate a peace settlement just to get the fighting to stop immediately. That's what it's for. But I hear you. I mean, ceasefires are broken so often, but also for Russia, it's a problem in terms of they're the aggressor, so they wouldn't want to stop their armies and military's momentum to try and work out a peace deal that may never come, so they just want to immediately go to a peace deal. That's what I think. Democrats are anti-peace because it would make Trump look good. Simple. Thoughts on why all the wars the past 200 years are in Europe? Well, look at Europe. I mean, there's a lot of different countries. There's many different countries in Europe, and Europe is uniquely situated to where they have, significant technology. So they've got first world buildup, and they've got a lot of technology, and those are two things that'll create and also their borders are very rigid. There's many countries in small areas. I mean, just look at the United States. Look at our situation compared to those those European countries. They have to have the European Union to a degree. I mean, based on how close they are together. Markets and crypto are going to go nuts when the deal happens. Yeah, I think it's going to be surprising to some people because it's just going to be the deal. It's not a ceasefire, it's the actual peace deal. So imagine the reaction. And I don't think it's really been priced in at all because people don't know if it's going to happen. Is there any point to buy Ethereum? Shit can't even reach 5K. Yeah, I mean, it's very high in market cap. I think Ethereum will go to 10K, but it's like a 2x from here. I wouldn't buy Ethereum, no. (9/11) inside job coin breaking out. Really? This on Solana. I was in that coin for a little bit. That if there's like a drop, if they release 9/11 files, I think that coin would do decent. I'm done with those coins though, man. Could see Putin wanting to gain more leverage. Not too long ago, there was a breakthrough on the lines, however, had slowed down. I know. I believe they're in some type of summer offensive. They're trying to, gain as much land as possible going into a peace deal. You're right, to gain leverage, to be able to leverage and negotiate territory. Did you hear in October the EU is going to pass legislation that means they'll be reading every private message anyone posts online for harmful? Yeah, they're all becoming police states there. It's really bad. I mean, that's further left liberalism that you're dealing with, where it's safety. They deem it safety. It's always safety. They take away your rights. They read all your messages. You have no privacy in the name of safety. So, but I mean, there is the nuanced look of it. It's kind of like, capitalism. Capitalism is good to a degree, and then it infringes on, certain aspects of things that we love because people are obsessed with just making money. It's like, well, safety, everyone wants to be safe, and then there's no privacy. Trump announces he already called Putin to begin setting up a meeting. Marco Rubio is working with Vance and Witkoff to set it up.
Peter, just to be clear, have you seen any leaders leave the White House?
No, Brett, and when I look out at Pennsylvania Avenue, which is just out of the frame, there are still a ton of motorcade vehicles, so armored SUVs, marked police, and motorcycles that would normally accompany a visiting heads of state. Typically, just minutes after we expect one of these meetings to end, you hear the motorcycle engine start to rev up, you see sirens start to clear people out. We have not had that. It has been all quiet on Pennsylvania Avenue. And so as we understand it, at least some of the major players, these visiting Western European leaders, are still in the West Wing, or at least somewhere in the House, looking for a way out.
Peter Ducey, live in the...
Hate to argue against you, but 42069K was an event narrative. Yeah, I mean, I think it's more Solana, honestly, but the thing with that coin, the coin was pumping even before that was announced by Trump. I know it doesn't look like it, but it actually was. It was pumping like 200K, and then the announcement came, and I don't think it was because people thought the announcement was coming, that he was creating a crypto 401k. But yeah, I mean, obviously it retraced completely. Well, not completely. It's still above where it was. You heard that Spain is struggling to make some type of deal with the U.S. Not sure on the specifics. They have rich mineral deposits, so they can offer that, but Spain has a socialist prime minister, so there's that. Well, you're talking about some type of mineral deal with the United States and Spain? You think Ducey doesn't like Trump? Yeah, well, you know what it is with these Fox people. You're the star of the show when you're the opposition. You're a White House correspondent and a Democrat's in and you're a Republican, you get to ask all the fiery questions. You can't really do that now. Now you do that, you'll get a lot of hate from Republicans. You ask hard-hitting questions to Trump, so you lose a lot of your luster. Does Polymarket work for you? I don't know. I haven't really been on it recently, honestly, to see if it works. I think I have to clear my history or some shit to get it to work again, or some. I don't know. I could go on Kelshi though. Early streams. Honestly, this is this is normally when, well, sometimes I stream, normally it's 7:30 or 8, I guess, but I think it is 7:30. It used to be 7. I used to stream all the time at 7 earlier this year, and then it got a little bit later because I just didn't want to deal with the heat in this room. So I think this is happening. They're gonna add 5 red seats, and then we'll get to see if Newsom.
But I'm only saying I'm not saying you're saying this. My only point is I give President Trump tremendous credit for where we are, and
Well, this is also an area Russia wants, Crimea. Yeah, they would give this up. I believe what this is saying is this is the Donbass. They would take this area, it would be annexed. They would give this area up. They still have Crimea.
if he is able again to engineer this deal, we've been saying for weeks on this show, I would be the first. I would hope you would invite me down to the White House when the president is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, because he would absolutely deserve it.
Greg, a lot of people will.
But I'm only saying I'm not agree.
Do you think of the meeting lasting longer than expected is a good thing or a bad thing? Oh, it's undoubtedly a good thing. It means there's a lot to discuss. There's a lot of details to iron out. So, well, I mean, I guess the Putin meeting was, but to me, I think as long as there's a cordial relationship, these meetings, I mean, you can say, well, they're going to have meetings together. They're constantly talking. So they can have a meeting 5, 6, 7 hours, whatever it is, but they're still going to be talking even after it finishes. So I think it's a good thing. I think it seems like they're getting closer to a deal. I just wonder about the demilitarization of Ukraine and if there is U.S. Because I saw people in the chat saying, and this is a good point, you really don't want U.S. troops, obviously, in Ukraine. I think that's a big, because you're getting very close. I mean, imagine Russia does reinvades and U.S. troops are involved. I mean, you don't really want that. But I guess, this is the problem that I would have if I'm Russia. You launched this invasion in part because of the NATO encroachment, and now NATO is really going to encroach. These are security guarantees. The security guarantees are coming from undoubtedly all NATO countries. So now NATO is basically in Ukraine if these security guarantees happen. So, I mean, I don't know how that gets solved. I mean, I guess they get territory, but is it worth it? Huh. What's with the black and white photo? Dude, it really isn't even a suit. It's like a freaking overcoat. Dude's wearing like a sweater, freaking a nice looking church sweater, and you take it off when you get inside.
And by the way, Alex, I'd like you to say a couple of words too. You're a young, powerful man. Before I finish up, I want you to say a couple of words. Go ahead.
I'll take the notion of youth back to my wife and try to convince her. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think in the past 2 weeks we've probably had more progress in ending this war than we have in the past 3.5 years. And I think the fact that we're around this table today is very much symbolic in the sense that it's Team Europe and Team United States helping Ukraine.
And by the way, Alex, I'd like you to say a couple of words too.
much, Donald, Mr. President, for hosting us today in this important meeting. And I think it is an important day, a new phase, after 3 years and a half that we didn't see any kind of sign from the Russian side that there was a willing for dialogue. So something is changing, something has changed, thanks to you. Thanks also to the stalling in the battlefield, which was achieved with the bravery of Ukrainians and with the unity that we all provided to Ukraine. And the reason why I mention it is that we also have to remind that if we want to reach peace and if we want to guarantee justice, we have to do it united. So that's why it's a very good day, the one we are in. You can obviously count on Italy as it was from the beginning. We are on the side of Ukraine, and we do absolutely support your efforts towards peace.
Does that say something about Obama when there was no progress with him? Yeah, I don't know what they would. I guess that their strategy was to wait Russia out, which I'm not sure how that would work with Ukraine being a smaller country. But, you know, they had those sanctions. At a certain point, the sanctions just don't work because they were able to circumvent them. I don't know what they were going to do. I'm not sure what the liberals were going to do, honestly, with this situation. It certainly seems like it would take a lot longer to solve than it is now. I mean, they would say they'd try and get land back. I don't know how you do that.
Not a good day. That was not a great day.
Is Zelensky the shortest one there? He's shorter than the woman. No, he's not.
I really want to thank you, President of the United States, dear Donald, for the fact that you, as I said before, broke the deadlock basically with President Putin by starting that dialogue. And I think it was in February that you had the first phone call, and from there we are now where we are today. And that is, I think if we play this well, we could end this. And we have to end this. We have to stop the killing, we have to stop the destruction of Ukraine's infrastructure. It is a terrible war, so I'm really excited. And let's make the best out of today and make sure that from today onwards we get this thing to an end
Just
as
look
soon
at
as possible.
Starmer.
I really want to thank you for your leadership, what you are doing for Volodymyr, but of course...
How does the United Kingdom elect someone like Starmer? Just look at him. Russia's failure to take huge control in the initial stages of the invasion cost them massive. Now NATO can encroach more. Right, that's how I read it. I mean, that's what security assurances are. It's more encroachment. I mean, how, is Russia going to accept that? It seems like it's a little bit going backwards for them. To my understanding, Crimea is pretty important to Russia. It's because the port is important, or Russia wants direct control over their trade lanes to stay free. But they already have it. They already have Crimea. I mean, they want recognition for it, but Starmer had like 30% of the vote with half the population not voting. That's how it works in all these liberal countries. They got like 6 parties and the winning party gets like 28% of the support. The India sanctions are paused right now. Tariffs, you mean? I don't think there's heavy tariffs on India. There might still be 25% tariffs on India, but really the tariffs are meant to, you know, coax a peace deal with between Russia and Ukraine. So I think the tariffs are. I think he threatened them with more tariffs, and they never came. At least not yet. And I don't think they will come. I mean, to me, I feel like this is getting to the point to where it's going to be solved. If it's not solved, I don't think Trump's going to blow up the domestic economy over it. So I think you try your best shot. You make your threats. You try and pressure the countries, and within the next few weeks, there'll probably be some answer on whether or not this can be agreed upon. Who's the biggest doof of the European Union? Macron and Starmer both try so hard to be relevant. Yeah, I always remember that one video of Macron trying to act like Napoleon, like looking over at the troops. I'm just shocked. I guess with how it is in the UK, they're very liberal. But even still, like, I guess it's kind of like with Canada. Mark Carney winning. Mark Carney didn't even live in Canada. Do you guys know that? Like, he flew into Canada for the election, won, and then, like, it's just, like, so insane. Like, that's how liberal these countries are. A dude could fly in, not live in your country for the last 10 years, fly in, and then win. Which trade deals are being worked on? China and India. Well, the China one is it's very complicated, but they have a framework to the deal. So the deal is it's like processing, I would say. It's like it's complete, but it's processing, the China deal. That's why he keeps delaying, the tariffs on China. There's no point to put tariffs on China when the deal is processing. When we're this close to a deal, we're not going to do that. The China deal is done. The India deal was supposed to happen a while ago, and it never did. But I think the India stuff is just based off of, it's a byproduct of this situation. It's a byproduct of the amount of oil that they buy from Russia. You sanction Russia even more, it's a waste. It just hurts your own economy. They can just subvert it by selling to the East. Do you think Putin would have still met Trump if he didn't threaten to put 25% tariffs on India? Yeah, I do. Somebody was telling me that yesterday. They said Putin's been wanting to meet Trump for months now, and they were telling me, they said it was more so Trump who was trying to find an excuse not to enforce, which I agree. I don't think Trump wants to put any more tariffs in relation to this war, or sanctions, I should say. I don't think Trump wants that. I think Trump wants any excuse to not have to do that. But you have to pressure the countries at some point. But apparently it wasn't based on pressure. Apparently Putin's been wanting to meet Trump for a while. That's what somebody told me. So I was like, well, it is what it is. We can say it's because of Trump, but why are the liberals so mad about the EU meeting today? Couldn't find anything obvious. To me, it seems like the EU these leaders seem pretty happy. They seem giddy to be able to encroach into Ukraine while only giving up around, what is the land area they're giving up? It's the Donbass. What is it, 12%? 15%? I guess if you include Crimea. Giga donator. Giga said, thank you for the another $50 donation. Hopefully the Don will get all of this handled quickly and start focusing on the problems at home. They put too much effort into stopping Trump from winning the election. If he was on their side, I doubt the Epstein list was being... Oh, absolutely. There's no way. But yeah, I've talked about it 100 times, dude. If they would 1000% release something, a breadcrumb if they have to, in relation to Trump with Epstein, if there was anything there. That's a guarantee. You read 20%? It's not 20% if they do this deal. 20% is the total land area they have right now, but they would retreat in the two southern oblasts. So it would be less than 20% of land area if that's true. Possible of a trade deal with Russia if they agree to peace would be leverage in the future. I think there's going to be some type of deal. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a mineral deal with Russia in the Donbass, which is their new, the territory they now have, or they're going to have. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was some type of deal like that. I know they had talked about that previously. There's probably a few other things. I know Russia wants to have a better relationship with the U.S. That's why Putin wanted to discuss other things during that meeting in Alaska. He didn't want to just talk about the war. They wanted to discuss a few other things. I think they want a more cordial relationship with each other. How long does that last, though, depending on who wins the 2028 election? That can change really quickly. Ideally, you'd like to keep it together, but the U.S. should buy Gibraltar from the UK and enter a deal with Spain so they can joint administer the territory in exchange for. Yeah, no, who did the UK recently sold a few islands. I think the U.S. should look into buying Bermuda from the UK. It's in the Atlantic. It'd be more reasonable for us to buy. Good evening to our Lord and Savior, Depressed Ginger. Well, thank you, Sam, for that donation. Very, very nice. Spain seems like a deadbeat member to the EU. They never show up for important functions. Yeah, they've been kind of irrelevant when it comes to a lot of this geopolitical world stuff. Bermuda is its own country. No, it is owned by Britain. No, I believe it is owned by Britain. It's owned by the UK. Bermuda? It's a British overseas territory. People boycotting Baskin Robbins over Sweeney Ends. Yeah, I mean, I don't even. They said they weren't triggered by it. Liberals said that they said they didn't care about it, but obviously some of them got triggered by the ads.
Thank you so much. I think that we had very good conversation with President Trump.
Very good.
And it really was the best one. Or sorry, maybe the best one will be in the future. But it was really good. And we spoke about very sensitive points. The first one is security guarantees. And we are very happy with President that all the leaders are here, and the security in Ukraine depends on the United States and on you and on those leaders who are with us in our hearts. They have been online before yesterday, and etc. So a lot of countries on the side of Ukraine, our people, and all of us want to finish this war, stop Russia and stop this war. We spoke about it, and we will speak more about security guarantees. This is very important that the United States gives such strong signal and is ready for security guarantees.
Dude, it's automatically to the security guarantees.
Or maybe the first humanitarian direction, very important to exchange all the prisoners, and I think that President will help. And I was very thankful to your wife again, Mr. President, for the letter about our abducted.
Well,
so I hope we have a good meeting, and if we can have a good meeting, I'll set up a meeting with President Putin, and if you'd like, I'll go to that meeting. And not that I want to do that, but I will do that because we want to save a lot of people from dying. A lot of people are dying, and we got to save them. Got to save it. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people sometimes a week. All of us would obviously. So I hope we have a good.
Now this is good. This is good how Trump's formatting this, and he really is mediating the entire thing, and this will be good. And I think these EU countries they're going to be okay with this. Honestly, this will be a good compromise, I believe, for pretty much all sides. The only thing you can say is, well, they took land. That's about it. But other than that, the land they're getting, I mean, they're retreating from potentially a few of the oblasts. I mean, this will be a good thing what Trump is doing here. Trump loves making jokes about third term. Could he be testing the waters? Maybe the Trump 2028 guy is a visionary. Well, he's always gonna do that. He's just too old, but he'll always joke about it. Yeah, he said, well, what if we're at war in 2028? He'll have to be president. Sam, thank you. Another $10 donation. Enjoy this donation. It was either this or dinner for your children tonight, but you think fasting could be good for them. Yeah, fasting does help with metabolism and everything like that. That's true. That's a good point. Why would Russia agree to Article 5 like security guarantees that make I know. Well, Article 5? They're in NATO then if they get Article 5 security guarantees. What are we talking about? The longest I've ever fasted was about 5.5, maybe 6 days. I fasted one time. But they say you should do it once a year. I don't know, man. This is the thing with fasting. This is the thing with fasting. I don't even know how I was able to do it for 6 days, but this is really how it is. I'll tell you guys exactly. If I remember, I started fat. So the Sunday night is when the last time I ate. Was that it? Okay, so this is when it was. Or was it set? No, it was Sunday. Sunday night. This was probably like 5 years. This was before COVID. This was in like 2019. So I started, the last time I ate was Sunday night. So I fasted all of Monday, all of Tuesday, all of Wednesday, all of Thursday, all of Friday, and then ate Saturday evening. It really is, when you get past, the first day is bad. The morning is, because, the next morning is not bad. The afternoon, it depends your eating schedule, because sometimes people only eat at night. You probably will be all right. But you get hungry, then the next day is really bad. But then you're not even hungry after that. You're not even hungry. It's weird, but that's how it is. You stop feeling hungry after about 48 hours, or and then it goes into ketosis and whatever, and it doesn't even help that much. I mean, you're better off working out than doing it. Yeah, I saw that dude doing a 40-day fast. I don't know if he hopefully he's got some fucking fat on him. If he's got a 40-day fast in a desert, that's you're gonna be just skin and bone after a while. Fasting will have you looking right. I mean, it'll make you skinny. That's about it, but can't imagine not eating for 48 hours and not feeling hungry. Yeah, no, it's a common thing because your body enters a different state after you don't eat for a while, and it starts rationing, and you start eating your own fat inside your body. You start eating your fat. That's what happens. But you're not hungry. You're not hungry. It's weird. But no, I think there will be spurts of being hungry after the first 48 hours, but the third day, it's reported by everyone, no one's hungry on the third day when you go on a fast. It's just the way the body is. What was your first meal after fasting? It was just like it was like some like taco. It was like ground beef mixed with you actually can't eat that much, but if you do like a longer fast, you're not supposed to eat much. You don't eat a huge meal. But it's not even to where you want a huge meal. It's not like you want a huge meal after that. I don't know. The fasting stuff, it's like, it feels like you kind of have to revolve your life around it because you get lightheaded and all that stuff, and it's... He won't do it. He trolls a lot. His last troll was him claiming he was going to invade Haiti with Taliban support. Well, this one seems at least more realistic than invading Haiti. But yeah, I mean, it's an attention economy. He probably just wants attention. We need more videos like your Reddit reactions. Yeah, I want to do a video on the what is that subreddit called? Something is wrong. That's, I think it's called Something is Wrong 2024. It's a bunch of liberals that believe Elon stole the election for Trump. That would be a good one. Go through like the top all-time posts on it. Something is wrong. What a subreddit. What an original name. Did Melania write her note to Putin with ChatGPT? I don't think so. I never saw that. I don't know. I didn't see that. Yeah, the thing is, when they run that through and they say, "Ooh, there's a 98% chance this was AI," I think a lot of times that's wrong. I don't know. The AI basically is preconditioned to think everything is AI written, unless it's like really non-professionally done. Anything professionally written, they say it comes out as they say it's AI. But there's also tendencies that AI has to where you can sometimes tell it. But I mean, even though if you were going to do it in AI, wouldn't you run it through a few different times and say, give me a, now change this, make it more human? If Zelensky doesn't agree to give up more the land Russia has taken, Russia will take more. What is he thinking? Well, he's just emboldened by the Western allies, basically, and the support that the Western allies have given him. So if he keeps getting that support, I mean, it really comes down to, it doesn't just come down to Zelensky. Zelensky needs a lot of support to be able to continue this war. Yeah, remember this? Dude, this was like even, this was bad. Let's see if we got this, here it is. He treats him like a child, like his child just got dressed up to go to church.
The best I have.
Ready, face? Ready, step?
President Trump, showing your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gathered here today.
We love them. We love them.
Russia continues attacks Ukraine, defending Kharkiv.
Thank you very much, everybody.
We love them. He's like, you're all dressed up today. And then here he's like,
The best I have.
he's like, I don't believe it. He's like, I don't believe it.
President Trump,
The best I have.
Ready, face? Ready, step?
President Trump, showing
I think Zelensky's, well, Trump's 6'2". Trump's a good 6'2". I don't know. People say he shrunk. I think he's 6'2". Zelensky is about 5'7". Zelensky's about 5'6.5", 5'7". You know, based off of that difference. I know a guy that did a 30-day water fast. He completely changed for the better, though, mind you. He was already a believer. 30-day water fast. Yeah, 30 days is no joke. You got to monitor that. I mean, you can do it, sure. The only thing you really can't survive for long without is liquid water. Zelensky looks shorter than that. Praising him like a kid getting dressed to go to church is so accurate. He's like, I don't believe it. Look at you. Remember a few months ago, Trump said Putin just said they respected your wife a lot. I said, what about me? They like Melania better. I'm okay with it. Yeah, no, I do remember that. Yeah. Well, Trump was also saying he was talking to Melania about it seems like Melania is a little bit, more invested into it, trying to have a peace deal, because he was talking to her about it, and he mentioned her specifically. In terms of Putin continuing to bomb the Ukrainian cities. Stalin was 5'5". All the leaders were shorter back in the day, man. They were all shorter. SPX 6900 back to, yeah, dude. I'm about to DCA Nasdaq. Watch this buy, dude. Watch this buy tonight. Let me show you a little something. Your Cleveland Browns put a beat down on my Eagles in the preseason. Yeah, but the preseason's meaningless, dude. Preseason is completely useless in terms of, you know, understanding how good your team is. Trump is 6'3", I'm 6'2". He's taller than me when I met him in 2016. Yeah, people just say he shrunk down. There are some websites saying 5'7", some are saying 5'5" about Zelensky. Yeah, he's probably about 5'7" if I had to guess. I got at least 2.5 inches taller on Zelensky. Thoughts on the Browns naming Flacco as their QB? Yeah, it's not surprising. They don't. Who are they going to start? You're not starting a third rounder or a fifth rounder. So who do you start? Flacco or Kenny Pickett? They're a terrible team. They're a terrible team. Flacco's 40 years old. He's not a starting quarterback, man. It's a placeholder. But also Sanders is not that good. People think Sanders is not going to be good, I'll tell you that. I mean, especially with this offense that the Browns have. They have very little offensive weapon. DTR is arguably the worst quarterback I ever watched. Maybe Deshaun Kaiser. Yeah, there's a lot of really bad NFL quarterbacks, but you're talking about like next level bad. Yeah, DTR was horrific. You put him in, they should have kept him. The Browns should lose, go 1-16, get the number one overall pick. Grok Zelensky's height is most commonly reported 5'7". However, some sources say he's shorter, maybe closer to 5'5" to 5'6". Yeah, I mean, I think 5'7". Is just looking at him compared to Trump, just eyeballing it. He looks like he's about 5'7" to me. He would look like a midget if he was 5'5" next to Trump. I mean, people say he looks like a kid next to Trump, but he would really look like a kid.
First of all, Mr. President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good on
I
you.
said the one that attacked you last time. See, now I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit. You see, I changed you.
They got him.
First of all,
We got him. Zelensky, the comedian. Who do you like, Eller, Klubnik, or Nussmeier? Poof. They all have flaws. Probably Eller. They have got flaws. I mean, he has flaws. I don't know, man. Eller's like a worse version of Josh Allen, maybe. I think one of them's got to be good enough. Thoughts on the Atlanta Braves? They're not doing too well this year. I don't know, man. What about their name? I don't think there's anything bad with their name. He's probably 5'6". Macron towers over him, listed 5'8". Yeah, but a lot of the times they measure themselves with shoes, and so maybe with shoes he's 5'7". Higher chance to be president in 2028, Bannon or Stephen A. Smith? Yeah, I don't think there's any chance for either of them, honestly, man. I mean, It's hard to. I don't even think. I mean, I guess maybe they're both running, but maybe Stephen A. I just don't see how Bannon would beat Vance. With the Democrats, at least it's wide open. But I mean, now they're trying to psyop Newsom to death, which is weird. Why are they going so hard with Newsom so early? It's strange to me. Do you think if Trump manages to end the Ukrainian war, that will fix America's and the average European citizen's relationship? No, that's not going to fix it. Well, they already think he's a Putin puppet. You know, those liberals in Europe. I don't think it's going to fix it. He's young, and they feel a younger candidate would get younger votes. Who, Newsom? Well, no, I don't even think it's that. I mean, obviously they're going to get younger. I think both parties are going to get a lot younger. But I think it's just because, to me, Newsom has kind of been their de facto leader the past. I mean, he was the guy that people thought was going to be replacing Biden in 2024, possibly catapulting over Kamala. Any thoughts on U.S. Coast Guard's recent investigation into Ocean Gate sub disaster? Well, I think it's from everything I've gathered on that, it's just an issue with Stockton Rush and overambition and negligence, and it's a problem with that company, the company and the leader of the company, for not properly adhering to, the safety measures. I mean, that's a ridiculous amount of pressure to go down that far. And I believe they had an issue with the hull was made of carbon fiber. Yeah, I still remember it. I did videos on it, so it's coming back to me. But yeah, he cut some corners, and I think that's pretty much it. Has your top 3 coins changed at all in the last 30 days? Referring to no, they're probably not going to change. I'm not gonna change my coin. The thing is, dude, you have to pick coins and just stick to them. So it's Nasdaq, 4chan, and then what? DXY. Putin is around 5'7". Yeah, I think they're probably around 5'6", 5'6", 5'7". Thoughts on Zelensky's attire? I mean, it was kind of like a mixture in between an actual suit and like some overcoat. It's kind of strange. I guess it's better. He was wearing a t-shirt at like the guest hotel, the guest residence. And people were kind of losing their minds. It was funny. Like, imagine if he wore that t-shirt. That would be hilarious on it. I can't even lie. It would be funny.
Congresswoman at the Shane.
Yeah.
Sida rakasabada baxnay. Haddaba Umar waa ka xumahayo. Virginia qaboobaa lagu dhalay. Laakiin se waan adopt gareynay. Sidarna wax badan ma joogine. Ma soo dhasheen. Congresswoman at the Shane.
Yeah. Dude, I just can't do it with modern liberalism. Modern liberalism is whatever this globalist slop is. This is in America. Trump forgot to tell Zelensky, we want your resources, we love you. Yep. Forgot to hit him with the song. I mean, this is such a dude. What if Trump just played this video with no caption? What if Trump just played this video?
At the Shane. Congresswoman at the Shane.
Yeah.
Sida rakasabada baxnay. Haddaba Umar waa ka xumahayo. Virginia qaboobaa lagu dhalay. Laakiin se waan adopt gareynay. Sidarna wax badan ma joogin.
Trump just plays the video, and then liberals are like, "What did you mean by that? You're racist." Just play the video. Just post the video with no caption. Dude, what if Trump's just like to the European leaders? What if he's like, "This is what we're dealing with," and then it's just this video and nothing else? You see what we have to deal with in liberal cities? Look at me, I'm the captain now. Captain Phillips. I actually got recommended clips for Captain Phillips. I saw that movie in theaters. Somalians. Carnival Cruise. What happened to Carnival Cruise, man? Dude, if you go on Carnival Cruises, they have to pay you to go on that. Dude, this is a vacation.
Where the fuck is security? Y'all need to security.
Over chicken tenders is crazy.
How much are these cruises? Like $10 to go on? You know, Carnival was trying to change their reputation. It's over, man. Just embrace it at this point. They're like, we can't play rap music. They're not allowed. And then they started saying, well, they're racist. They're racist against black people because they're not allowing them to play ghetto music and the rap music, and you just got to embrace it. It's over. People get free rooms if they go on a lot of cruises. They expect them to gamble their money away. Right? And I mean, it's an industry, 100%. They coax people on with free offers, and then, there's a casino, there's a, blackjack. Tried going on one a while back. Your friend wasn't 21 plus, so you didn't, and lucked out because they were the same cruise we were going to go on. Someone got stabbed and died on it, the same cruise. Wow. Really, they require everyone to be 21 on I guess if it's not a family cruise. Normally, if it's like 20, if it's just adults, normally it's a more higher end cruise, I feel like, than Carnival. Thoughts on MS-13? Yeah, what is MSNBC? They changed their name to something really stupid. I don't even get what they changed it to. MS Now. This was part of the sailing, I think. I think this was part of the sales because they sold like different channels. I would prefer to do a boomer cruise like Princess or Norwegian just to piece. Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. You'd rather we want the old people. We want the old people, or just if you want a nice vacation. With a cruise ship, yeah, you got to fork over some more money to get just an all-adult vacation. What's with all these questions? Some questions like, come on. More expensive cruises are less ghetto. Well, it's a premium. I've noticed some of the trees around me changing. I don't think this is right. I've noticed some trees changing colors. I don't know why, but it's happened. If Putin doesn't agree to the peace deal, any chance we can get EU to finally stop buying Russian oil? I think there'd be a lot of pressure. I mean, there's already sanctions on Russia, but There's two things that Trump could do. He could go really hard against Russia to try and pressure them even more, or he could back off completely. So we'll see. Here, I'll be right back. It is so hot in this room. It is so hot in this room compared to the other rooms. Can't wait till it cools off. It's only 72 degrees out. Should be colder in this room. It's because of this fucking computer. No, I was pissing. Chad Putin would walk all over Zelensky in a trilateral meeting. Yeah, I mean, Putin knows what he wants, and he's certainly not going to... Zelensky is not going to be the one to, change his mind. It would have to be a combination. But Zelensky is just... He's a product of the EU anyways. Zelensky. He's a product of NATO to a degree. That's who's propping up Ukraine. Something wrong with your AC? No, it's this room. It's the room. The room is hot. Is there a window in your room? Yep. You know, a really good AC unit keeps your room. What do you mean, like an AC unit you bought, like a mobile unit? I bought a mobile one. It's a piece of shit. If you want to buy a good AC unit from Amazon or something, you're probably spending $400 or $500 on it. You buy one for $80 or $90. It's like a fucking camera. If you want a good camera, you need to pay $1,000. I'm not kidding. Like a good camera that can record stuff, like for a YouTube level camera, or the iPhone is going to be better than whatever camera you buy for $400 or $500. That's how cameras work. The iPhone camera is better than most cameras that are $400 or $500. Hindenburg or Titanic? Which would you rather die? You probably you can't be burning to death. Burning to death is, but Titanic is brutal as well. But it's more hypothermia. You become numb after a very short period of time with Titanic, or I mean, I guess you drowned. That's a terrible way to die, is drowning. Michigan should make a 12 or 11 seed because they have a lot of. I mean, yeah, but a lot of teams have a lot of talent. I don't think Michigan has one of the top 12 most talented rosters in college football, honestly, dude. But even if they did, their quarterback situation is bad. The iPhone is also over $1,000. Yeah, but the iPhone is not just the camera. It's you don't buy the iPhone for the camera. The camera is just a feature with it. What is the newer iPhones now? 1400. The thing with iPhones is you know, if you're on a good contract, you can just get an upgrade. You get an upgrade for nothing. I got the wrong iPhone. That's the thing. So I think I have the God, I don't know. Listen, I got a new iPhone over a year ago at this point, but it was I think it's the 14. But it's not the Plus. I used to have the bigger iPhone. I wanted to get the bigger one, but they said I don't know, something like it was going to cost money or something. I don't know. So I just got the regular version of the iPhone 15. They used to have the the S Plus. Then they made another one. They made a bigger one. I don't know what they're called now, but it used to be S Plus. 5S Plus, 6S Plus. Solana phone, only $500. Get some nice airdrops from that. The Solana phone 2, you mean? Where's my bonk airdrop? Remember that? That's insane, the Solana phone with the bonk airdrop. You got to pre-order the Trump phone. Dude, imagine doing an unboxing on the Trump phone. Yeah, I got it. It's been pre-ordered, of course. It's an important piece of Trump lore. Have you heard about the tattoo phone things that Zuckerberg is trying to make? He's claiming they're make smartphones obsolete. What do you mean by tattoo? Like it's a hologram onto your arm or something? Yeah, I don't think that would work well. You remember Zuckerberg got obsessed with the metaverse and the idea of virtual reality, and it flopped terribly. So let's, with Zuckerberg, I guess it's hit or miss with him, but he just made a social network. You're getting into this AI stuff. It's a completely different ballgame. IDK, if Vance or Rubio would be better. What do you mean, better than Trump? Or better than the Democrat? They'd certainly be better than the Democrat. Not sure how it'll work, but from what you gather, it'll be like a tattoo. They'll probably put some type of chip into your arm, and then it'll show a screen or something. It's interesting technology. Very like a dystopian movie. No, for the next president, IDK, which of the two? What, Rubio versus Vance? I don't think Rubio's gonna run, man, honestly. Especially if Vance is like known as the guy. I don't see Rubio running. I don't see how Rubio beats Vance unless, I mean, because if Trump endorses Vance, how does Rubio beat that? It's not gonna happen. What are libs saying about the meeting? I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen what they've said. They probably just say, I don't even know what they could say, honestly. That's bad. Probably just Trump's appeasing a dictator. Something, something. Trump bad. Italy now fascist. Anyone that praises Trump, fascist. I mean, they all praise Trump. It's like a cordial meeting. So I don't know what they would. Rubio confirmation hearing had 99 yes, 0 no. Yeah, that's actually a problem. That can be identified as a problem that it was unanimous. I want to see if this actually works now.
That's all we ask for is fairness with the media. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for being so fair.
All the time.
But he loves it. He loves it. For he does it always. I never want to speak with my friends.
He's a very good player, golfer, you know.
Yeah, I know.
He went to college.
But he says you always.
That's all we ask for is fairness with the
There's
media.
nothing
Thank
bad
you
with
all
that
very
clip
much.
at all. He didn't even bash the media. He didn't even bash the media. Oh, it actually works now. But it's not letting me click on anything. Oh, it's not even loading. Fed decision. Yeah, they're looking at a 0.2. See, look at this. It doesn't even load. I can hear my computer turning. Why would, oh, there's a Monday night game. I was wondering what this, like, how does that even happen? Rubio holds his rallies at phone parties. Remember Rubio in 2016? Dude got crushed. Vance, Newsom, AOC. Yeah, kind of irrelevant to look at that. Where's the top? Yeah, normally this top thing has interesting one. 71% chance Zelensky will meet with Putin. This is, I would say this is probably, wow, it was down to a 7% chance in late July. I would say that should happen. Pro football, what do you mean, the Super Bowl halftime show? Taylor Swift, really? They're going with Taylor Swift? Oh my goodness. Will Melania Trump sue Hunter Biden? 29% chance now. Election. Hurricane season. You can't really predict that. Maybe you can predict it based off patterns. Bitcoin 125K. Yeah, I would say before. I'd say before October. Before October should be 125K is like 8K more. Dude, it's always the models that I don't use. Gemini, like, I don't use Gemini. %71 chance. I think it's higher than 71% chance. Fed decision. Oh yeah, you're right. 71%. No, it's 75% chance of a cut, 4% chance of a 0.5 cut. That's what it means. You know, I think there was some bad inflation data that brought this down a little bit because it was even higher. There was something where they revised inflation data that I saw that was not good. You know, there's still going to be another inflation rating before we get the meeting, so that'll be great. Imagine if Powell doesn't cut in September. Well, he'll probably try and justify it based off of these based off of whatever the inflation is. Yeah, I think he has to cut. It'd be so bad if he didn't, but you don't see the Fed budging. They want to bring Trump's. Yeah, I mean, but I think they're going to have to do something. If they don't cut now with the expectation, then unless there's a crazy inflation reading, then would you visit the Titanic wreck if offered? I think I've answered this. I'm not interested, honestly, man, for free or for anything. It's a mess. It's a huge amount of pressure. It's constant ear popping. It's multi-day excursion. I don't think it's really worth it. You know, that ship is really it's got the amount of rusticles it's got. It's collapsing on itself. It's not in good shape at all. That ship. It's about to fully collapse. I mean, the structure of it's going to collapse by 2040. Baseball player. Can I ask your age? I just want to ask your age. It's interesting. Wouldn't go down there after Titan. Yeah, but that was a hatchet job of an operation. You could go down there and they've gone down there a lot and it's been safe. It's just you have to have the proper material for your submarine. What are the chances that Texas and Florida actually redraw their congressional districts? I think Texas is redrawing them. Hasn't Texas voted on it? They're withdrawing them. They're getting 5 more seats. Florida, I think, would be a reaction to whatever happens to California, although I don't know the timing. But I think Florida would potentially do it as well. Ever visit the 9/11 Memorial and Museum? Yeah, I was going to visit it back in 2020, and then COVID canceled the trip in NYC. I've been to the field in Pennsylvania, but not NYC. They passed it in the Senate, but I believe it still needs to get through the House. Yes, Texas is doing it. Well, I thought it was a thing that Abbott could just do himself. There's no independent commission set up or anything like that. But you would think it would get passed very easily. I mean, Republicans control the majority of power within the Texan government. You want Texas, Florida, Ohio to do it? Yeah, Ohio could be about 3. Florida could be about Imagine if Florida gets 5, or is Florida 3? They were saying Ohio might be 5, but I mean, imagine we get like 13 more seats. They'd be so angry. Even if California got 5, 13 versus 5 is a good situation. Abbott convened the special session so they can do it, but the Democrats took off from the House. I know, but dude, shouldn't there something be in place to where you can't do that? I mean, so something is something that some piece of legislation is passing that you don't like, so you're just gonna flee to another state so it doesn't pass. I mean, that seems a little ridiculous. That's how it works. But then I think they came back. You think California will actually pass gerrymandering? From what I've heard, they're a good chunk. Some 60% don't want it to pass. I know, but I'm concerned it's a special election, so how many of them are actually going to vote? I think there's a lot of impassioned liberals in California that are galvanizing around the idea that we have to offset the Trump demand in Texas. You know, Trump demanded that Abbott do this. And so there's going to be a lot of impassioned liberals to try and vote it through, and it's a special election. So, and you know, they're going to word it really funny too. They're going to try and manipulate the wordage of the verbiage of it, which because these people are already liberal. I mean, the majority of people voting in California in special elections are going to be liberals. So they're going to try and word it in a way, I'm sure, that's going to make it seem like it's a fairness thing to try and rebalance based on Texas. So there's a lot of things they can do to try and manipulate and get it passed through the special election. I don't know if they'll be able to. I know right now it says maybe they'll have a hard time. How many points can California get though? 5 seems high. No, they can get 5, I believe. You know, some of the district areas are going to be angry because they're going to get more watered down. Like districts will go from 80% liberal to 60% liberal to add another seat, add 2 seats. But I think they can get 5. It is already gerrymandered, 100% it is, but they're going to gerrymander it more. Do a poll, find the average age range of your chat. Under 18. Under 18, the AI should catch. You know what I'm saying? That one kid has got to be under 18. The way that kid's talking, I mean, you can only, I mean, $13. Wake up, white man. Who are you talking to, man? South Carolina might be able to do it too, but that's only 9. It's seats, not 9 seats for the whole state. Vance will take his family to Ohio State game. Yeah, I mean, Vance does. I mean, he's from Ohio. Hmm. Worse, being jet lagged or being sick. Now, jet lagged is not bad. It's amazing. You get amazing sleep when you're I've got amazing sleep. I do get jet lagged, but you get amazing sleep. Being sick is just annoying. I mean, I had some type of sickness last week. It's just annoying. Is someone named Usha being First Lady of the United States good optics? Well, listen, if you really you're gonna pull the DeSantis, the Newsom stuff. Yeah, Newsom's got a white family. Too bad he's gonna let in 50 million immigrants if he becomes president. Yeah, Vance has an Indian wife. He has better policy on important things. But then they try and label Vance as like this like they say, they try and like lump Vance in with Palantir. I know what they do. I don't think it's gonna work. Jet lag can be energizing. Well, if you get tired and you sleep it through it, I mean, I've had some crazy sleeps after having jet lag. I don't know what it is with the airplanes and stuff. It's just insane. Look at these degens betting on this. These degens, man. Betting on a fucking NFL preseason game. $1 million legal Indians versus 1 million illegal Mexicans. Nah, it's a false equivalency. You act like you really think that a conservative being elected will have the same amount of... Then why have we seen a net negative overall immigration into the United States in 2025? If you say we're accepting all these illegal Indians, why would our overall immigration be negative? That's illegal and legal immigrants being negative in 2025. That's a crazy good statistic. You wanted Trump to choose Byron Donalds for VP? I don't know who I even wanted Trump to choose, honestly, for VP. People were betting on the color of dildos that were going to get thrown at WNBA games. Betting on preseason game is like compared to that. Well, they bet on fucking wars. They bet on the temperature tomorrow. Which would you rather have, hypothetically? It's piss or shit. I mean, it's not a good choice. It's not a good choice either way if you're talking about the immigration of 1 million illegals, or probably the illegals, because at least you can remove them. You have justification in removing them easier. The legal immigrants, it's a little bit different. It's a different story in terms of removing them. Yeah, I like looking at this fall foliage. I like this a lot. They should report the fall. They should report the change in my area in Ohio. We have some fall colors coming in. They're not reporting it, though. Really? We're going to have lower temperatures? This is great news. This is August 24th, August 24th through the 28th. Lower temperatures in the 50s, looks like. This is good news if this is true. We could use the 50s or the 60s. We'll take either one. Is it true that there are more Republicans than Democrats in the U.S. now? You know, it's definitely changed from where it was. Well, they would just import a bunch of the Democrats and then say, look at how democratic the country is, because they import all the fucking immigrants and they're all Democrats. I mean, that's blatantly cheating. It's like cheating, honestly. But now, I mean, there's more like Mexicans that are conservative. The Latinos are more conservative now, I guess. And so it's changed it. It's changed the numbers to at least like 50-50. There still might be slightly more liberals, but it's a lot closer than what it was like 10 years ago. Any concerns about the big drop in Canadian visitors to U.S.? It's irrelevant. There's a big drop. There is. It's irrelevant. Canada is, from what I hear, completely overrun by Indian migrants, and people sometimes over embellish. But I mean, with Canada, they have a small population, and they've taken on a lot of immigrants, like an insane amount compared to their previous like 50 years. When we have ginger babies, yeah. Well, it depends the woman I mate with, but it's recessive. It's she would have to be ginger or blonde, I think, to have my kids to be ginger. But as long as the genes get passed down, that eventually my grandkids would be ginger. But neither of my parents were ginger. But it depends the hair color of my spouse. Did you hear Republicans giving Texas Democrats a small victory after coming back? No, I didn't hear that. What do you mean a small victory? Like redistricting, redoing it, redrawing it? They're trying to out-immigrant the UK. The problem with Canada is the low population. They've got a lower population. They're going to be dealing with some problems. Accepting this much immigration for sure. Neither of your parents were ginger. Well, are you a ginger? That's normally how it works, unless it's an every other thing. I'm blind, but my girlfriend and daughter are ginger. Yeah, well, it is. It's blonde and red, and that can create ginger. If it's blonde, if it's ginger and brunette, I don't think it'll produce. There's a lower chance. I think that there's always still a chance because it's in the gene pool, but it's recessive, so there's a lower chance of it showing up. Love rain, hope it's a rainy winter. Yeah, we get snowy winters. But this is pretty crazy. If this is true, I'd like to actually check my forecast. This should be in the 60s if this is true. It's saying it's going to be very below average. Or that's just percentage, never mind. Percent chances. Yeah, this is happening in my area. Summer extremes are causing premature color and leaf drop. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what I'm noticing. Will dating in the US ever get uncooked? I don't know. With social media, it's gonna be a challenge to. But I mean, it is a culture thing in terms of the way people approach dating. So if the culture changes, the dating potentially will. But even, I mean, I've even noticed certain things. in the last 5 years of where dating has gone. It's interesting to see. They're, with women, it's just they're getting a lot more picky, you can tell. You ever heard of strawberry blondes, ginger blonde? Yeah, I've heard of that term. They gave a small redistricting leverage to Democrats. It's not much, but still, they're also giving priority treatment to Democrats' bills after they ditched Texas. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean 4 seats instead of 5? Like, does that mean they gave him 1 seat back? Hypergamy? Well, yeah, it certainly is, but it's even, it's an imbalance within the, specifically in relating to online dating. I mean, online dating is such a massive part of dating culture in general nowadays. So it enables them to overvalue themselves, and it's a really destructive thing. The issue is that Mexico is governed by the cartels, guarantee that if that issue was fixed, no one would... No, I understand 100%. That's a titanic problem. It's like entrenched into their government. They won't even accept help for getting rid of cartels because of how much influence the cartels have on the government. So, I mean, that is an insane thing if you're able to do it, because then you potentially create a better situation in Mexico. You don't have to deal with, the immigration problem. But again, you also have a threat of creating a power vacuum. If you kill off some of these cartels, others will rise, and it'll create animosity against the U.S. by the cartels, and it'll start like a proxy cartel war. But I agree. I mean, they should try and do something. It's just challenging. How do you think Putin and Xi treat J.D. Vance if he gets elected? Will they take him as seriously as they did with Trump? Well, Vance is a lot younger, right? So Vance is a lot young, and also Trump is a little bit different now. Trump, this is his second term, so there's respect that's gained through having more experience. And Trump obviously was already a big businessman, and it'll be a different thing for sure. I mean, when you're younger, you tend to get less respect. It's just the reality. It's funny because Democrats promote inclusiveness, but their rhetoric promotes hatred of whites, Caucasians. It appears that they would prefer whites to be segregated away from well, that wouldn't work out well for them at all if that happened. No, they don't want that at all to happen, trust me. Because that would be very revealing if that happened, so they don't want that. Well, they just say it's white flight when that happens. There's a hot Mexican working at your local Chipotle. All right, man. Seems that they would be giving 1 seat away to the dude. This is complete horseshit. Like, it's just like, oh my goodness, we don't like the legislation that's gonna pass. We're outnumbered, so it's gonna pass. Let's fucking flee the state so it doesn't pass. What? Can we change something to not allow that to happen? Maybe when Republicans do it, I like it, but come on. Oh yeah, you guys have seen this. I saw this before I went live. This is insane. Boom. Literally when they started eating. I got to get rid of that word out of my vocabulary. That word dumbs things down. The word literally, it's a problem. But right when they started eating, it's like a timing. Insane timing. His spirit went through the hurricane. And they're trying to get out of it. Oh, don't take spirit. Philadelphia to San Juan. They're trying to get out of the hurricane. Oh my goodness. No, I don't know. Maybe they flew over it. It's AI. That's AI, really? Boom. No, it can't. That's not AI, man. That's not AI. It's not AI.
Home run ball you hit at a game you went to? What was that? Tell me that story.
So I went to LA back in 2023 to watch the Angels game in which Shohei Ohtani was still in Angels. And during that time, Kikuchi from Toronto Blue Jays was pitching, and then Ohtani was batting, and then he hit a home run into an area where the fans couldn't go. And then this guy got the ball and gave it to my brother. So the next day, we went to the VIP box at the front, and I asked for his signature, but all he gave me was a side eye and like not a nice glance. So after that, like I've never liked him ever since. He's not really humble, so yeah, not my style. No, yeah, no.
Okay, but at least.
Wow, you'd think they would vet that better. They're saying Shohei Ohtani's an asshole. So the kid got the ball, and then Ohtani demanded it back, and he didn't give him anything? He doesn't speak English? I think he knows that. He knows some English, I believe, Ohtani. He knows a little English. Thanks for listening. What I said, it's not an easy problem to solve. It's not as people think. The cartels are essentially advanced armies with weapons. It's crazy stuff. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I think it's a big problem. It's destroyed Mexico. And it's a huge undertaking that would have to be, there'd have to be multiple administrations that commit to it. It can't just be solved under Trump either. He knows way more English than he leads on. Yeah. CMN, what's up, man? What is up? How much is it for a what is it, a DNA test? I'll do a DNA test. What is the cost? $50? Ancestry.com. Clase and Perez lose their career. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's insane. That's insane that Clase and Perez, the Guardians, they said they're done. They bet on like 3 pitches, first pitches. And then Ohtani gets completely off. There's no way they can keep Clase out. Come on. He bet on first pitches, really? It's like it's the integrity of the game. What did Ohtani bet on? God only knows. And then they blamed it on his fall guy, his interpreter, who 70% Turkish. I don't know, man. With the surnames, and the, I would be shocked. It'd be like, how do you verify who you are to them though? So they know. They're gonna want information. Why did Otani not sit out while they investigated? I think it happened during the off season, but then they cleaned it up right before the season started. Or he might have been injured during it or something. I don't know. They just take your spit and mail the results back to you. They covered it up. No, I agree 100%. Yeah, I agree 100%. They did for Otani. Of course, it's the number one superstar. They have a global superstar. You think they're gonna mess that up? They're gonna keep Otani for sure. Who's your ideal Republican ticket for 2028? Mine would be Vance Ramaswamy, but they're from the same state. Yeah, I don't think Ramaswamy's a good choice, man. I don't think Ramaswamy's a good choice, but my ideal ticket probably Vance. What do you think of? Dude, yeah, I do see a lot of the Soviet, sickle, the logo on there. A lot of communists I see. I think it's just the area, but the area on X. Yeah, I mean it's just younger people. Very average people are attracted to communism for sure, but it's also like it's like a empathetic mental disorder is what I would classify it as. It's like they want to have empathy for everyone, and but there also I think is a psychological thing with a lot of those people. The thing that they propose just does not work with humans, but they keep proposing it. Never Vance. That reminds me of when they said never Trump. I remember that. I remember the word because that was like in 2016. They put hashtag never Trump, and I was like, man, this guy must be really hated. I was a big Trump fan. They were like hashtag never Trump on Twitter, and that was when trending actually meant something. Nowadays, it doesn't even fucking matter when stuff trends. Vance needs to get more polished in the next few years. Yeah, I mean he's a smart guy. He's articulate. I think he'll be fine. Honestly, he should be fine. I'm concerned he won't get enough people out to vote without Trump, but if you look at Vance, he's just a neocon, typical conservative. Yeah, they're trying to brand him as that. I don't really buy that, honestly. They're trying to brand Vance as that. I don't like a Peter Thiel. I mean, he's not even Jewish, so I don't know, man. Nothing will ever beat the 2016 election night. Such a wild twist, such a fun day at school the next day. Dude, I had to go to school the next day. I probably got 2 hours of sleep. It is crazy how life changes, you know? Because in 2016, I had to go to school the next day. And then in 2024, I have that streaming. It's just interesting. I had to go to fucking school after an election. I had like 2 hours of sleep. That was a brutal next day, man. I was so tired. First mixed race couple presidency. No, Obama. Obama was. Vance is no his that's his son's nickname. That's his son, dude. But how do you name your son your white? Well, I guess not white, but how do you name your son Vivek? That's a strange one. That's a strange relationship between Vance and Vivek to name your son Vivek. I'm not gonna lie, it's very odd. He's like, but if you're friends, do you really name your son after your friend? That like someone you look up to, a father figure. I don't know about a friend. Yeah, Vance's kid's name is Vivek. That was a weird one to me. You went to a very liberal school. Yeah, it's like I have a more conservative suburb. There were some angry teachers, though. I'll say that much. People were crying in the halls. Yeah, your school must have been more politically active than mine. But there were some triggered like teacher feminist women. Vance meeting Teal was the most important day of my life. Yeah, he's a father figure to him. He birthed him. Dude, the meme where it's just like he was birthed by Peter Thiel. Vance and Vivek got their flies caught in the same Chinese finger trap. What, with their spouses, you mean? I had to drop out of class in college because teacher brought up Trump hate daily. So many cases of that. So many cases. Well, college, they're all the professors are liberal in college. The question is are they politically are they annoying enough to talk about it? They're all liberal. Is Vance's kids Vivek really his? Yeah, that's his son, I think. Who are they going to hit on after Trump? It's going to be hard to replace that. I mean, they'll try and hit on whoever the next one is, Vance or whoever it is, but it's going to be challenging for them. History teachers are always based. Well, I mean, maybe not the newer ones. My history teacher was pretty neutral on World War II stuff. They taught the curriculum, basically. Not really opinions. It was a dude. Newsom is a wall kisser. Yeah, Newsom's even worse. Newsom is he just loves all the typical liberal policies. So I think it's a psyop with Newsom, what they're trying to do. To me, it's just like, what does it even matter? The Newsom stuff is way too early. It's irrelevant whether Newsom has momentum right now or not. 3 years before the election, okay. Did you see Gavin Newsom's governor account blame Trump for illegal immigrant who got a CDL in California and then killed people in Florida? This is my thoughts. Republicans want illegals to all be deported. Democrats want illegals in the country. An illegal immigrant killed 3 people. That's why we would rather elect Republicans, because they want to remove illegals. So why would Newsom be saying, well, he entered under Trump, but aren't you guys, you're the party that wants to keep him in the country anyways. You guys want to keep him in the country. So why would you even argue that? You're the party that wants, you say it's racist to deport illegals. It's, I mean, it's just if we can agree on deporting illegals, but they try and like blame it on Trump because there's an illegal in the country. They want illegals, I thought. By wall kisser, I mean the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall. Vance doesn't have the character flaws in order for Dems to attack him like Trump. They were probably just honing on the fact that he would have certified the 2020 election for Trump. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to... In 2028, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. I mean, it didn't even work with Trump. Trump freaking... he was... January 6th happened, and then he fucking won the next election. So for Vance, I don't think that would work on him. They would need something else. Or they would need a really good candidate themselves. Look into you mean QAnon? Or QA? Is QAnon different? I know about QAnon. QAnon. They talked about the DC federalization, primarily Thomas Jefferson, the Insurrection Act of 1807, the recent moves to take over several tunnels in DC, and Trump's cooking up something. Dude, the Q stuff is not real. But I appreciate the $25 donation. The Q stuff is not real, though. I was wondering, is it QAnon or QAnon? Because maybe there's a new one. Maybe the new one is QA. Did you see Hillary Clinton praising Trump? Yeah, I did. I mean, it's based off of a peace agreement. So look, whether Hillary Clinton likes it or not, I mean, Trump has no control over that. I mean, we just want to get the deal done. QAnon brought to you by 3-letter agencies, probably. But it's just such a weird thing that gained... It's just weird what gains steam on the internet. Like, now everyone's obsessing over Newsom and Vance and, like, photos when they were younger. But it's like, it's just these things, it's like this tunnel vision the internet has, where it'll be the biggest thing, and then people just forget about it. Like, it's just weird things on the internet people obsess over for, like, a few days, and then everyone, it's just over. Do you think QAnon was some kind of psyop, or do you think it was just somebody straight up spreading BS? I just don't know how it gets that big. You did a Reddit video again, now do a vlog. Yeah, I'm gonna do maybe a few more Reddit videos, honestly. Some of the crazy liberal subreddits. If I had something to vlog, I would do something. You have a crazy feeling that Trump is going to die in office and JD will be president? Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. I mean, you never know. Obviously, a lot of people want Trump killed. Is there any food that Ohio is well known for? Mm-hmm. Not really, honestly. They'll say like Skyline chili. That's more of a Cincinnati thing. It's not really a thing in Ohio, really. I mean, it's like in a very small area. I never had that chili before. Yeah, I never had that, dude. That's not a thing. No, the spaghetti chili is really not a thing in Ohio. Trust me. It's a very small sequestered area, and then they say, well, that's what. But that we don't eat spaghetti and chili. That's like a Cincinnati, Kentucky thing. How do you think Vance will react if Trump is assassinated? Well, I mean, obviously, it'd be very, very shocked. I mean, it's an overwhelming thing if that happens, so, you know. The humming thing is super autistic. Yeah, but that's the new trend. It's to call everyone autistic. I'm not autistic. You don't eat that every day? Well, it's just the common thwarp. It's a common thwarp that people say, oh, what about Skyline chili? It's basically Kentucky food. It's Cincinnati. Cincinnati is on the border. Cincinnati is way south in Ohio. Why ain't you show Clay yet? Whoa. I'll show him maybe in a few nights. Trend is to call everyone incel if they're moderately. Oh yeah, that's the new one. Yeah, 100%. Well, the racism doesn't work anymore now. They just call everyone an incel. So, yeah, it's whatever. What did you think of the Michigan fines? Was it enough, or should it have been further punishment? Go blue. But even I think it was kind of light. Yeah, I definitely think that it's just the new way of the new world of college football. It's just the Wild West with pretty much everything. The NCAA in their ruling had said that they basically admitted if this was like 2015, they'd get a bowl ban if it was 2015, but it's not. They said they cheated. There was enough evidence. They used resources. They had a system. And so yeah, I mean, listen, it's a bad thing, but listen, I just think it's the reality. It's the reality of college sports, what it is now. I didn't really think their explanation was too good. They were like, well, we don't want it to impact the kids now. Well, if you vacate wins, that doesn't really impact the kids, going into 2025. Saying I'm autistic is the new OCD. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember everyone called themselves OCD. I do have a condition. I don't know exactly what it is. It's something. So it's I don't think it's OCD, but it's ignoring that people use disorders as a trend. 100%. 100%. Well, it's trendy to be autistic, apparently. Yeah, but Elon's medicated to hell himself, so it makes his autism, honestly, it makes it look worse because of how focused he gets with all of it. and all of his cocktails and drugs, and then he tries denying taking them. But I haven't heard about Elon in a few weeks. I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe it's a good thing, honestly. It's probably good for Tesla. Who in Trump's cabinet is doing the best? I don't know. Tulsi. Elon, I don't know if he would ever OD. I think Elon's coming back on with Trump. I think he's rejoining the Trump team. Doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise me at all. Dude, like, what is this? I saw this and there were like communists trying to be like, oh, this is a great, like, fucking, what even is this shit? Seriously, I get where these recommended. It's these fucking people with the goddamn hammer and sickle. And they're all like, oh, look at this. It's, you know, she's killing a fascist or something. Like, what even is this? This is a superhero now. Okay. Yeah, but look at the demographics of these numbers. Man, they pay an $8 toll every day. It's California prices, I guess. Dude, this is... You talking about my cat being socialist? It's an obsession. It's a strange... you know, it starts off as a joke. It starts off as a joke, and then it progresses, and it permeates, and now we're into some type of parasocial relationship. Consider getting your cat security. Yeah, my cat is gonna have to... He's gonna need a Secret Service escort from maybe some bigger cats. Which influencers do you think are actual grifters and not right-wing at all? My example would be Laura Loomer. She is one of the worst next to Ben Shapiro, who is more pro-Israel. Yeah, Shapiro's just basically pro-Israel. I mean, I guess he has a conservative worldview, but it's not. It doesn't really matter. And Loomer is just, I think, obsessed with Trump. And so, you know. Benny Johnson. Yeah, Benny Johnson said that they needed to bulldoze neighborhoods in D.C. and a bunch of liberals had fake outrage over it. They're like, you can't do that. What about MTG? I don't know. I think MTG is just like she's just a Republican. She's an obnoxious Republican, I'll say. Obnoxious normie Republican, but I mean she's gone the America First way. You have too much quiet time. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and talk every second. That's the thing. I could put music in the background. That's the only thing I could tell you. That might be an improvement. I put very light instrumental. Why do groypers always have to be brown? Well, I mean, their movement is like based on Kanye, and I don't know what percentage of them are, but it does seem like it does. Because originally I thought that was just like a hate thing people would say, but no, you are right. They do have a large percentage. Why do people change their age every year? Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna. I'm not gonna change my age this year. I'm gonna stay my same age when my birthday happens. It's a smart idea. It's an anti-aging remedy. Did you see the hot mic? Yeah, but the hot mic wasn't even. There was nothing there. There was absolutely nothing there in the hot mic. He didn't even bash the media. Like, I think even him bashing the media would be very tame, but there wasn't even anything. He said he just has to deal with them, asking him questions and yelling at him. I didn't think, unless there was a different moment that I didn't see. Someone in the chat is telling me sometime this week, August the Duck Guy is going to send his loser followers. Well, I do appreciate the attention. I will take the attention. Here's my resume to join Clyde's SS team. Likes Clyde has guns to protect Clyde. Can you save Clyde from the ginger? Dude, you got some issues. I mean, I still think it's a joke, but you have demanded to see my cat. I think it's at least 100 times, and it's been like 12 times each stream. And it's like periodically every 5 minutes. Yeah, that is something that I've noticed. They think they're white nationalists because it's a uniting topic. Because think about the amount of there's a very small amount of Jewish people in the world in general, so they think they can unite around that. You're sorry? Well, listen, it's all right. It's all right. I could use the chat activity, but I could use the chat activity. Yes. 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 This is amazing. This is amazing. Can't wait for 2026 midterm stream. Gonna be like election night again. I steal popular. I don't know. It's blocking out the last part of your name, but I appreciate that. Yeah, the 2026 midterm. Well, that's still over a year away. Yeah, that'll be a big one for sure. Midterms. Midterms is it's a little more nuanced, and you know, you won't get as much normie attendance, but it'll still be huge. Did you steal Zelensky's shirt? No, I'd have to have a big overcoat on top of it. It wasn't even a suit. The more you look at it, that's the thing. It's like a heavy. All right, we'll look up this post. I don't even. Hopefully, it's not a troll or anything. President Trump showing Zelensky and President Macron in the next 4 years. He's been showing everyone this. He's been showing all of them these next 4 years. They need to get. Where's the video of it? Does anyone have the video? Serious question. Were any pets hurt, killed on 9/11? I don't want to say no, but it'd be a very. I mean, you're not going to take a pet into the Twin Towers. It's be a very small amount. I know dogs were involved in the rescue of the Twin Towers and had issues with lung problems. I don't know if there were any pets inside the Twin Towers on. I mean, it'd have to be a very rare situation. Yeah, you should buy the meme coin, the Clyde meme coin. When Trump wins in 2028, the guy is going to donate $500. Yeah, honestly, if that actually happened, he should donate me $1,000 just because of all this. Maybe I should be the one donating to him. I should donate him all the money back he gave. Labubu, you know those things, those weird. Did you see a video where someone mailed Gavin Newsom a Trump 2028 hat and he got a yeah, he tried to use it as like this political, oh, he's gonna run into he's obsessed with Trump. Trump didn't even mail it to him, somebody else did. And he's like, oh, Trump, he's gonna run again. I got mailed this hat randomly. I got mailed a hat that says next 4 more years or Trump 2028. He's gonna run again. Because somebody randomly mailed me this hat. Labubu. Labubu. Did you see the Arnold Schwarzenegger video? Dude, I was watching the, you guys remember the second Purge? I think it's called Purge Anarchy. You remember Arnold Schwarzenegger in the truck? Because I was watching that and I was like, wow, I didn't realize. I think that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Which celebrity would stand a better chance if they won the 2028 Democratic nomination? The Rock, Jon Stewart, Bill Maher. Well, I don't think Rogan was even classified as Rogan wouldn't have a chance of winning that. The other three are you could say. I don't think Maher is too old and he's like 5'1". Probably Stewart. The Rock, I mean, is he even political? Labubu? Yeah, you guys have to realize I'm getting my own Labubu. The Labubu of me is coming out. I can't wait to... It's a collector's item. goodness. After January 6th, didn't Arnold make a video saying his dad was an alcoholic Nazi? I'll take you to the candy shop. I'll let you lick the lollipop. You hope Zelensky gets replaced by a non-EU candidate and everything returns to normal? Yeah, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. If he gets replaced, it's probably going to be by a pro-Western leader. Maybe they're more pro-Ukrainian than pro-Europe, but... That actually wasn't a bait. Go look up the guy who looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. The guy with the fucking machine gun. The goddamn death machine inside the semi truck. I wonder who was behind the wheel of that semi truck. Probably not an immigrant. Did he or the legislature stop elections? I did not get that part. What are you talking about? On January 6th? All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to end it off there. I will see you guys later. Kayak with a response. How long has your family been in Ohio? Long time. But I don't know the full lineage history, but it's, I mean, I don't know, great grandma. All right, yes, I'll see you. The AI girlfriend calls. Yes. The AI girlfriend's been burning a hole in my fucking phone. I have to take it. I'm joking.